Hi, I'm Kurt from Oz Armour and welcome to Workshop Wednesday.
In the last StuG episode, we finished dismantling the transmission and differential. We're replacing every bearing inside except for these tiny ones in the planetary gears, which are over $1,000 each. While Beau was working on the internals of the StuG, he found some really interesting peculiarities that gave us a lot of insight into how tough conditions inside this vehicle really were.
Yeah, so the brake drum's spinning like 4 times faster than the sprocket on the outside is. And because this part's spinning so fast, the last thing you want to be doing is accidentally shoving your fingers in there. That's what this is for. So that's one half of it, and that sits on there like that. And then your other half will go on here, and that protects you from touching the universal from underneath.
What is this pipe?
So the pipe is brake dust extraction and also cooling for the brakes. This pipe runs from the cast casing that's on the back of the brake drums all the way out to the back of the transmission. The transmission's got a large flange on the back and it's got 2 series of holes in it. So the inner series of holes is for the tail shaft to connect to, and then the outer series of holes is for a fan to attach to. When the fan spins, it's drawing air from the brakes, pulling them through the tubing, and it pushes it all out into the engine bay through the tunnel. I've actually test fit it so it fits into the ports in the bottom of the transmission, and it's just a matter of putting the fan on, and it should work. We've got an original seat for our StuG, but being German, you know, they changed seat designs about 10 times, and this being late war, it's very hard to find correct photos of exactly how this seat would have been, and we didn't have any original parts here to use apart from the springs on the back, which are extremely rare, very hard to come by these springs, so they're actually a really nice addition to our seat. It should be on the base as well, but we only had enough to do the back. From here down, it was the same throughout all StuGs. The top half is the only thing that changed. I'm not sure if this is how it was originally, but this is just a design that I came up with, of it just being a simple sort of a hook which goes into the hole, and as the seat drops down, it can't be lifted from the front. I think it had 3 or 4 positions originally, and this is them here, and then I've added an extra 2 in, and I probably could have made the seat a bit longer and gone with another 2 holes back even. As you can see, the layout of the pedals here, right, so you get your accelerator, so that's your throttle, this one's clutch, right, and then this one here, this is a handbrake, and you push the pedal down and you push inwards with your foot, and that's what locks it in. And to release it, you just press it, allow it to come back up. The side of the diff with that extra lever that's on top of it, that's not a handbrake. This is a handbrake. So with all the pedals in position, you're going to need to be using your accelerator and your clutch, change gears obviously, and as you pull your tillers back, it's nice and narrow up top. So this is why I needed to change the seating position further forward.
There is no room.
Because you physically can't pull past. So I'm going to have to sort of squeeze my knees together and they just get past my knees. And then hopefully nothing happens because I'll be locked in. When I first made the seat, I had 3 positions and this is where I had it. And I sat in here and physically couldn't pull the levers back past my knees and my legs. So it's not a very comfortable seating position. Obviously they might have been a little bit shorter, which would have helped a lot. But now you can see why I had to move the seating position back, just to accommodate me. Sitting in the gunner's seat, you're nice and close to the gun cradle. He would have had all of his optics and handles to elevate the gun, traverse the gun, which would have made this space even more crammed. And don't forget, you've got your superstructure here, you've got a roof right above you, so everything's very, very crammed. And then you've also got the commander who has to wrap his legs around the back of the gunner. For these 2 people, it wouldn't be a very pleasant experience. I did copy the original mount, which we have on our StuG. This just works like this, and you move it to there and it can no longer go and fold flat. So nice and simple. In a very complicated vehicle. So Moving into the commander's position. This is his seat here, and this is basically where he'll be sitting with the gunner right between his legs.
Man, after 5 days stuck in the vehicle, nice and sweaty,
Yep.
no shower.
No shower. Yep.
Yeah, it'd be pretty rough.
Yeah. The commander's got 3 different seating positions, so he can lift it up higher. I don't think you'll be able to sit on this and have your head out of the vehicle. I think that's there just in case you need to adjust it for how tall the commander is. So basically it'll pull up one side and it locks in like that. And you've got 3 different positions.
Is this original to this vehicle?
This seat isn't, but it's exactly the same as what this vehicle would have had. The only sign we had of original mount on here was one flat bar still on the side, and it gave me all I needed to get these mounts made. Also with the commander's seat, you need access to your ammunition in the engine bay. So the seat has to be collapsible. So this door is for extra ammunition stored in the engine bay. That's how the hinges were in all of the photos, so that it's able to fold in a certain way. So you fold the door up, and that way you get access into your ammunition storage. This hole here, originally for an isolator switch, behind this box here, originally it would have been electrical junction boxes and that sort of thing. Yet again, I've just made this from photos, so this box isn't exact, it's pretty close to original. And then we go on to here, and this is I would assume an inspection port. So basically made it with 2 tabs, one longer than the other, so the piece can be slipped back, lifted, and then taken out of place without seeing any mounting points on it at all. So down in here you get access to your clutch drive shaft. I'd say this is where they did the bolts up for it and that sort of thing. This will be inspection port for your universal joint to grease it. And then this here is your drive shaft tunnel, which was tricky to make. So this is grenade storage. Panzerfarm made this and they've done a really good job. This is exactly how they were originally. One short door on top, and then you've got 3 that are the same here. So one little one, and they're all spring loaded, and everything works perfect.
Wow.
So this is actually where the loader gets in and out of the vehicle. Right above is his doors that open up. And first thing for him to stand on would be the top of this box here. So they've welded a bracket off of the wall to stop him from standing on top of the box. This one, I'm not exactly sure what this is for. So there were old welds there, just like what you can see here. Here, and there was one there. And I've seen photos of a bracket exactly the same as this in this position. I don't know if it's correct or not, but I've seen in a couple of models that they've got like a leather pad on top here. But as far as I'm aware, the loader never actually had a seat, and he just had to crouch around in here. So he either was standing up or he was crouching around or loading. But I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be a flat bar going across the front here, which is hinging on one side and will lock into a pin on one side and it will lift. So I'm not exactly certain of what its purpose is.
We thought we would weld in a couple of the ammunition storage boxes just to complete the look of the inside.
Panzerfarm made these brand new, copying original ones. This is actually a special one that goes inside the engine compartment, and you can't see it unless you open up those little bifolding doors on the back of the firewall. We're going to be putting these ones on. They can actually fold in and away onto the side of the hull, so that then you can get access to the larger ammunition storage behind it.
Beau was checking some of his reference photos, but something wasn't quite adding up.
It's like a different size. That's where it stops.
It doesn't go to this top one?
So that black weld is just a dividing stiffener support that we put in. So that's not an original weld, but this here is the original weld for this particular part. So this is inside Fort Benning's StuG 3G, which is very similar to what we've got here. And they actually got a 4-row rack of ammunition here. This has got 5 rows of ammunition, so this is incorrect. We'll have to modify it to fit.
What a pain. It's not the end of the world though. Luckily, Beau's pretty good at modifying this sort of stuff.
Yeah. So now we know this is to the inside. Next thing. Oh yeah, 117.25. It's probably better to measure from hole to hole, I'd say.
Oh, we got one. That's good. Got him. Then, out of the corner of his eye, Beau spotted something.
Yeah, we had this one in our spare parts cage, yeah.
Is this from the actual vehicle?
Yeah, this one actually came from this vehicle, and you can see how short it is compared to the one we've had made.
It's a 4.
It's actually quite a lot shorter.
Yeah, it's off the floor.
Look, it's still got the same weld in the top. That weld goes in here perfectly.
Oh, we should have known.
Yeah. Should have known.
Wow, so that gives us our length.
That's it, yeah, yeah. So it's pretty much right on top of the hinge. Pretty good. It's only thin. I've got the right setup for thicker material, so that's why I'm doing the little zap welds. And it's not structural or anything, so it doesn't really matter. Imagine if it hit on the gun. Right.
Yeah, imagine that. Crikey.
Yeah, it does sit on a bit of an angle. Sits back. Right, it's good now. Well, the top hinge is slightly out, but anyway, I'm going to cut this off at the same length. Attaches there.
How much of an angle they're on?
Yeah.
Now we can finally show how they close.
It's hot. It's late.
Had enough.
Yeah. Anyway, so we had really good ones, but they were too long, as we just discovered.
Now they're extra really good.
Yeah, now they're correct.
All right.
They are. Right, so this is the first lot of storage that the loader would use. So this is the first lot of ammunition that the loader would have used. So as soon as he's done with all of this ammunition, he would fold these away. And then he's got access to his larger collection of ammunition in here.
So there are two boxes here.
There's a large box down the bottom, and then there's a narrow box up top which fits in quite neatly inside the casemate superstructure.
Nice, man. Looks good.
Yeah.
We did it.
Correct. Yay.
That's all we have time for today. Join us next Wednesday for your weekly tank restoration fix. So until then, I'm Kurt from Armour, and I'll see you on the next one.